Hello everyone, my name's Alice and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing the Why Witchcraft hashtag started by Lennon Smith. I have the questions written down, so if I'm looking down, that would be why. Okay, question number 1. When was your first encounter with the word witch? So there's sort of two answers to this. The first time I really heard the word, the very first time I heard the word witch, I don't know how old I was, but I was like really, really little. And it was like through like Disney movies, you know? And I remember like seeing Hocus Pocus when I was probably like, I think I was like 5. And then through like, you know, like Snow White, there was like the evil witch and stuff like that. But at that point, you know, witches were they were fairy tales, you know, they weren't real to me anyway. And when I got a little bit older, I don't know exactly how old I was probably around 7 or 8 because it was before my family moved. So I heard that witches were real, but they were like evil, and it was like, you know, this view through Christianity of like the evil witches, and you want to stay away from them and you want nothing to do with them and all this. But in my mind, it was still sort of like they weren't real. And so it wasn't until I was 9 years old when my family moved that I met someone whose father was a witch and was teaching her and stuff. And so that's when I really first heard about them as being something that was actually real. Okay, question number 2. What was your first witchcraft path? So I was first introduced to it through Wicca when I was 9, like I said, and yeah, I was Wiccan for several years before I ended up changing to just general paganism. Number 3, what was your first magical working? So I don't really remember the first thing I did that I was like intentionally doing magic. I honestly don't remember exactly what the first one was. I remember when I was 9, me and my new friend, we were bullied a lot in school, and so during recess and stuff, there was like the playground and then a field, and then like on the other side of the playground there was like a woodsy area that you weren't allowed to go in. And so we would always sneak off and go in there, and I do remember she had tarot cards that we would play with, and I don't know if that really counts. And then I know later on we did some like candle magic and stuff, but I don't remember for sure what the very first like candle magic spell was. I remember one of the first ones I did like on my own without my friend was a like prosperity money working to try to help my family out. Okay, number 4. What is the most important tool in your craft? So I don't know if it exactly counts, but I'd say myself for sure. Myself, my energy, you know, my intentions, because, you know, without that, there is no doing magic. You know, you don't need all the like outside tools to do magic. You really just need yourself. But as far as the outside tools, I'd say some of the most important ones are definitely my Book of Shadows and like learning resources such as books or the internet. What is your witchy aesthetic? So I'm not entirely sure I understand the question. Is it asking what is my fashion style, or is it asking how do I decorate my altar? So I don't know, but so just kind of styles I like in general. I like kind of gothic styles, and I'm not really good at looking at something and going, oh, this label fits that thing for sure. So I'm not. So there's styles I like, but I'm not exactly sure what label fits that style. So it's kind of hard to explain, but I'll try to see if I can like pop up a couple pictures here to kind of explain some of the styles I like. So I know I like gothic style, and I think it's called like cottagecore, and then I like the style where it's like sort of gothy, but also like naturey, like with like the dark greens and like oddities and like the walls with all the pictures and stuff. I think it's called a gallery wall. And then I like sort of like the whimsy goth style and stuff like that. What is your favorite witchy hobby slash activity? Probably gardening. To me, I love working in my organic garden. I grow herbs and stuff, but I also grow a lot of sorry, my phone was making weird noise. Vegetables, fruits, and some flowers. And so a lot of the time I dedicate working in my garden to Gaia, my goddess. Another witchy hobby I really like is, a hobby I like in general is crafting. And so I really like crafting things for my practice. What is your favorite witchy animal? So at first I didn't understand this question, but when I went to Lennon's video, she like listed off some different animals that she considers witchy. Because at first I was like, because I discovered this tag through Amethyst Ascension, because I honestly wasn't subscribed to Lennon. I didn't know who she was at the time, although I'm subscribed to her now. But so at first I didn't know what animals were supposed to be considered witchy. But out of Lennon's list, my favorite animal just in general is bats, and so that was on her list. But so I guess I'd say that is my favorite. But a very close second is definitely cats. I love cats, even though I'm allergic to them. I cannot imagine ever living without having cats. Number 8, what is your most memorable magical working? So I'd say my most memorable one was one time with my friend when we were still young. I think it was, so my birthday is November 20th. So I think it was probably like a month before I turned 10. And I remember we were celebrating Samhain, but we knew we wouldn't be able to do it on that actual night. So we did it a week or two before it was actual Samhain. I don't remember why we couldn't do it on that night, but we knew we wouldn't be able to, probably because of trick-or-treating and stuff. And so we did it in my backyard, and we set up a circle, and we called in the god and goddess and the quarters and all this stuff, kind of doing it like a big ritualistic sort of way. And I just remember, and we had special dresses we wore. She had a couple that she would wear when she did magic with her father, and so she let me borrow one. And so we had these special, really pretty dresses. I just felt so magical and so just like connected to the earth and to the god and goddess. And it was just like the first time I had ever truly, really felt that way. And I really felt like I was part of something bigger than myself, which is a big reason I really kind of got into Wicca and witchcraft, because I never really wanted just the like typical life that, you're born, you're a kid, you grow up, you get married, you have kids, you get old, you die. It's just, you go to work and you have a job you probably don't love, you're not passionate about it, you just do it to make money, and, your life's not fulfilling. It's not, it's just kind of boring, and you're just not truly living, you're just existing, and I didn't ever want that. So, that magical working, I just felt so amazing, and it really solidified that was the right path for me. Number 9, what is your most unpopular witchcraft opinion? So I don't know which one would technically be considered the most unpopular, because since I'm solitary, I don't have any witchy friends, so I don't really know, like I don't have people to say like, oh, that's unpopular, or a bunch of people who are like, oh, I totally don't agree with that or whatever. But one that I think might be unpopular is I don't really believe in like mythical creatures. Like I know some people work with like dragons or the fae, stuff like that. I don't think that stuff is really real. And I think on the small chance it is real, they're not like physical beings. They definitely can't like pick this up and move it. Like Like if you've lost a piece of jewelry, it's not because like a fairy has gone off and taken it. You know, you've just misplaced it. And so I think that if on the small chance things like that do exist, it's more of like an energy, not definitely not a physical being. Another unpopular one is, I don't really know the right words for this because it's not something I've researched or really know a lot about, but like the people who think they're like something or other, I know it's called like something or other kin. Like they think like they're not really human. They think they're like part wolf or part something that doesn't exist, like a fairy or something. I'm not going to go as far as saying those people are like completely crazy, but I don't know where they get that. I definitely don't think that's real. I think that's kind of like a very like childlike, you know, pretending type thing. And people who like really truly believe that, I just don't agree with that. Like I'm like, I don't know where you got that idea. Okay, number 10. I'm sorry if this offends anyone. I don't mean it to. And like I said, I don't like think you're crazy or anything. I just don't agree. Number 10. In your opinion, what is the color of magic? So I kind of take this to mean like magic in general, but I think because there are so many types of magic that it doesn't have like a necessarily a generalized color. I think it depends on the type of magic you're doing. And for me, when I do magic, I kind of see, depending on what I'm doing, I see it as being different colors. I see kind of like a, sort of like a misty cloud and stuff. And so a lot of the time it's like has a color, but then it's got sort of like a white around it sort of too, like mixed in with the color sort of. And so I guess you could say white, but really I think it's like all colors. Number 11, what is the hardest lesson your witchcraft has taught you? This is a hard question, and I'm honestly not really sure. I think one of the hard lessons I had to learn is that in witchcraft, practicing it just in general, you are sort of putting yourself in a position where other people, the majority of people probably don't agree with you, probably think you're weird, delusional, or like evil or bad in some way, just misunderstand, don't understand you. And so I think that's something I kind of already deal with like having autism and social anxiety and just different things. And so to kind of put that like at it even more with the witchcraft, I think that's kind of something that's hard, but witchcraft and paganism has really taught me that you really need to be yourself and follow your own path, and that if other people don't agree with it, you know, that's fine, that's, you know, their issue, and that there isn't really one true like correct and right path. And so, you know, this path is right for me, but that doesn't mean it's right for other people. And so it's okay to follow your own path, and it's actually good to do that. And so we don't want to be judged for that, and so we shouldn't judge other people for choosing a different path. I hope that made sense, because I feel like I was kind of saying that in a weird way. Number 12, what is your witchcraft's ultimate purpose? So to me, I kind of got into this a little bit before, but the ultimate purpose for me is kind of to give meaning to my life, to live a meaningful life and something that is fulfilling to me, and not just kind of going through the motions of life without really living. And number 13, what is one big goal of your witchcraft? I'd say one big goal is to help to manifest a better life for myself, I guess you could say. Right now, I'd really like to, it's more of a long-term goal at this point. It's not something that's going to happen like within the next year, probably not even within the next couple years, but I really want to manifest a house or some type of living situation where I can live on my own, because right now I have to live with my parents. And so a big goal for me for my witchcraft is definitely to kind of be able to manifest and bring about just a better life in general, and more of living the life I really truly want to be happy. Alright, so that was the 13 questions. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'd love to know if you've done this tag, because when I search the hashtag, a lot of completely unrelated stuff comes up, like true crime and like random witchcraft stuff that has nothing to do with the hashtag. So if you have already done this video, I would love to hear about that below. Just let me know and I'll go check it out. And if you haven't, you really should. So yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Please subscribe, hit the bell notification icon to be notified every time I upload a new video. Like the video, and I will see you next time. All right, bye. Blessings.